Everyone wants to feel confident, to walk into a room and command attention, to speak with certainty, to act without hesitation. But what if I told you that true confidence doesn't come from self-love or affirmations in the mirror? It comes from something darker, something colder, something a little more ruthless. Machiavelli knew this, and he wasn't shy about it. In a world obsessed with positivity and self-esteem, his philosophy feels like a slap in the face. But that slap might be exactly what we need. Let's go back to Renaissance Italy, a time of political scheming, betrayal, and ambition. Niccolò Machiavelli lived through it all. He watched the rise and fall of princes, the games of power behind closed doors. And he learned a brutal lesson. Confidence isn't born in safety. It's forged in struggle. In his infamous book, The Prince, Machiavelli doesn't talk about self-worth. He talks about strategy, control, and the cold understanding of human nature. He writes, "It is better to be feared than loved, if you cannot be both." Now pause with that for a second. This isn't about cruelty. It's about clarity. Machiavelli saw that real confidence comes not from being liked, but from being prepared, being grounded in reality, not hoping people will treat you well, but knowing exactly what to do when they don't. Confidence for him wasn't a feeling. It was a result. The result of knowing your environment, knowing yourself, and most importantly, knowing what others are capable of. Because when you understand people's motives, when you accept that some will deceive, some will betray, and some will smile as they stab you, you stop being naive. You become sharp, watchful, unshakable. And that is when confidence begins to grow. Not the flashy kind, not the loud, cocky kind, but the quiet kind. The kind that doesn't need validation. The kind that moves like a shadow and speaks only when necessary. It's the confidence of someone who has seen the world for what it is and learned how to move through it strategically. Machiavelli also believed in controlling appearances. He wrote, "Everyone sees what you appear to be. Few experience what you really are." That's not deception. It's discipline. He understood that the world judges by surfaces. So why not master your surface? Think about that. Most people walk through life emotionally exposed, reacting to every comment, every glance, every opinion. But the Machiavellian mind? It observes, calculates, acts with intention. And from that comes a deeper kind of confidence, one that doesn't tremble in the face of chaos, one that doesn't need the world to be fair, because it already knows it isn't. In many ways, this is the opposite of what we're taught today. We're told to seek comfort, to build our self-esteem on praise and kindness. But Machiavelli whispers something different. Prepare for conflict, expect betrayal, and build your strength on reality, not illusion. Only then can you walk with quiet power. Not because the world is kind to you, but because you are no longer afraid of it. And strangely enough, this dark path doesn't make you cruel. It makes you calm. Because when you stop hoping the world will be fair, you start focusing on what you can control. And that shift from hope to power is the true root of confidence. So maybe Machiavelli was right. Maybe real confidence isn't about loving yourself. Maybe it's about knowing yourself in a world that will try to manipulate you, weaken you, and distract you. And when you see through all of that, you no longer need to be loud. You no longer need to be liked. You simply know. And that kind of knowing, that's unshakable. That's real. That's ruthless. And that is where true confidence begins. But here's the paradox. When you stop chasing approval, you start gaining respect. When you stop needing to be understood, people start to listen. There's something magnetic about someone who doesn't need the world, but knows how to move through it. This is the strength Machiavelli hinted at. Not domination, but precision, patience, the long game. Confidence isn't worn on your sleeve. It's carried in your spine. A posture, a presence. It's knowing who you are, even when no one else sees it. And that kind of confidence isn't given. It's earned in silence, in solitude, and sometimes in shadows.
If this made you pause, if you're drawn to deeper truths and quiet strength, then you're in the right place. Like, subscribe, and keep exploring with us. See you in the next one.